Hey out there, this is Polish Pete, and this is the tackle breakdown of the Lethal Weapon swim jig. This particular model here is actually the Lethal Weapon 2. So this is the newer version of the Lethal Weapon. And to me, this feels like the old school one of the bunch when we talk swim jigs. And it's because of the region of the country I live in. I live up in Minnesota, and this particular swim jig brand and these particular swim jigs have won piles of money up here in the Mississippi River region, the upper Mississippi regions in Wisconsin. This jig is a staple. It's a staple in southern Minnesota, and even up in the northern, way northern in Minnesota stretches of the Mississippi River, and a lot of our lakes too. This swim jig has absolutely been a mega producer. This is actually the swim jig that gave me a lot of confidence when I first started fishing swim jigs. It is an absolute winding killer. If you're in trouble in a day, this is, for a lot of anglers, the Senko's their confidence, their comfort blanket, I'd call it. If they're scared, they can't figure out how to catch a fish, you're spun out, you throw that Senko out there and let it sit. For me, it's pick up a swim jig and throw it and reel it in and just start covering water. And this particular swim jig is one of the best at that there is. It has a lighter wire hook than most other swim jigs we carry or are on the market. That's not a disadvantage to this swim jig at all, because the particular use case for it is covering water with kind of that medium power tackle to lighter power tackle and reaction bait style rods, and covering water with a more subtle presentation. So those small chunk style trailers are small swim baits, and this is trying to get you bites, get you bit on just numbers wise. And when you're catching numbers, when you're somewhere like a river fishery, you can tend to just jump or catch yourself into, or find yourself stumbling into some big ones. And this jig here is been known and proven. I don't have to tell you about it. You can look up the records on these things. They've won a ton of money. They have glittered finishes to the heads, really big oversized painted yellow eyes on there, so they stand out quite a bit. The weed guards are really soft and subtle on these, so it's almost like fishing a single hook crankbait. I mean, you can just wind right into them and you get a hook in them very easily. I've caught a lot of smallmouth on these jigs, and as long as you play them out and take your time, you don't have to worry about the hook bending out. But I wouldn't throw a 7/6 heavy flipping stick and straight braid with this style swim jig. They feature a wire keeper on them, so they're really easy to rig a plastic on and get it straight. That's probably the advantage of that wire keeper. It's very easy to get your plastic on there. It does tend to tear the super soft plastics though, so it might aid you to put a little bit of super glue on there. In my opinion, just one of the disadvantages to having that wire style keeper, you're gonna go through some plastics, but I think it makes you fast and efficient on the water, and this thing is a proven fish catcher. So if you're ever gonna make a trip up to the North Country, or if you're down south somewhere where it's been tough to get a bite and you wanna pick up your confidence and cover some water and find some active fish, check out the Lethal Weapon 2.